Hello, welcome back to the video. And in this video, we are talking about queries. What are queries? But before I proceed, make sure that you subscribe to the channel and make sure you check out our previous videos. And in this video, we're going to be talking about how you can create a simple query when you have a lot of records in your database. Now, when we were talking about tables and we're talking about forms and etc., I said before that in order to have a perfect database, there are objects that is being provided by Microsoft Access, or there are objects that a database has, and these objects includes tables, forms, queries, and reports. So check out the other videos that I talked about tables, and check out the other video about forms, how to insert or create a form. All right, so what is a query? A query is simply a request for your data in your database. Okay, you can use a query to answer or ask your database a question. Okay, you can also use your query to perform simple calculations or to combine different types of data from your table. Okay, you can also use queries to create relationships between two tables. Okay, you can also use queries to add, change, or delete table records or data. Okay, as tables continue to grow in size, or as the records in a table continue to grow in size, or as tables in general continue to grow in size, there are going to be a lot of records you're going to be placing inside your database. Okay, because of that, queries are very helpful to help you specify, or based on the criteria you are going to be able to question your database. So with a query, you can apply a filter to the table and then you can get the information that you want. Okay, queries are also the best ways you can use to retrieve or extract data from a table, and also to make calculations called the select queries. Okay, so you can use a query to actually extract data. Okay, you can use query to extract data or information from your database. Okay, so let's look at how we can create a query. Okay, now if you want to create a query, you need to have tables that are filled with records. Okay, you need to have tables that have some kind of records. Okay, so check out the other videos and see how we created tables and how we added data to our tables. Okay, so in order to create a query, we will first of all go to the create tab. Okay, so let me first open my two tables. Okay, so I'm going to open my customer table and then open my orders table. Okay, you can see I have two tables on top here. You can see two tables. This is a category of tables. Okay, all right, so in order to create a query, what we have to do now is go to create on the tab on the ribbon here. A ribbon pops up and then you can see we have query wizard and we have query design. Okay, so we're gonna select query design. Okay, so go ahead and click on query design. All right, so this will bring up a table, and in this table tab you can see this dialog is showing you table. We have queries here. We don't have any query right now, so tables, this is showing you the number of tables or the types of tables you've created. Okay, so let's go ahead and double click on the tables we want to query. Okay, so we're going to query the customer table. Okay, and then for now let's do the customer table. Okay, so we'll double click on the customer table here. If you do not find this here, you might find this at the side of your windows here. Okay, so mine popped up. if yours is not there, you can still find it. You can still go to the design tab here, okay, and then you click on add tables, and you can see that it will pop up, okay, somewhere for your disposal or for your reference. All right, so I just want to query the customer table, so I'm going to go ahead and close that. I double click this, okay. When you double click it, you're going to get, I do not want, I just want the customer table. So this is the customer table, okay. Let me go ahead and bring this down a little bit so I can see all the attributes of the table, okay. All right, so I want to query the table so that I can get the information I want, okay. So let's see how we can do that. Now on the customer table, you can see there are attributes here. See the primary key and other things we created earlier. Yes, so these are attributes here. So if you don't know what attributes are, please check the previous videos and see how we added some attributes to our table. Okay, so now we want to create queries. We want to query our customer table. Okay, so I want to say, okay, so I need the first names of all those, or let's say I need the names of all those who live in the country, okay, all of, I need the names of customers, okay, that live in countries, okay. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to select name and then country, because I queried my database, the customer table, that I need the names of my customers that live in a country, okay. So I'm going to click on both my names, first name and then last name, okay, and then I'm going to click on country. Now let's go below here. You can see below here that there is fields, okay, there is tables, there is sort, there is show, there is criteria, okay. Now field is telling us where the where, it's telling us the field name, okay, of a particular table we've chosen, okay. And when you see below field, you see there is table. So this is table, where the table, where you got the field name, okay. And then we have the next one here, last name. So the same thing, we saw last name on the customer table. So, and then let's come here, you see country, an attribute, it found, or is found on the table, okay, customer table. So you can see here customer table, okay. So this is customer table, okay. So now let's go ahead and then run our query and see what we got. So in order to do that, you go to the design tab and then locate run on the ribbon, okay. So click on run. So you can see that the database has given me, or the query I asked for has given me the names of those who live in a country, okay. So you can see all those living in a country, and they are all from the USA, okay. Okay, so let's say we want to query our database and give it a specific query, okay. We'll go back to the design view, and then we want to query our database so that we take the names of those whose names start with a W, okay. So we're going to the criteria section, and we go to those whose last name starts with a W. So I can come here, click here, and then just type a W, okay. Now what Access does is that it's going to help you to put your criteria in quotes, okay. You have to know that your criteria has to be in quotes, but in case you forget, what it does is that it's going to insert that for you, okay. So let's go ahead and run. So I've placed the criteria here. So I want the last names of customers that start with what that has a W in it, okay. So let's go ahead and run that. So we go to design and then we go run. So you can see that there is nothing like that, okay. So let's go back to our design view. So let's say I want to query both tables, okay. So I'm going to click on both tables. I'm going to double click on customer table, so double click, and I want to query others table. So I'm going to click on others table, okay. So then you can close this. So I said earlier that queries also helps us to relate our tables. Okay, so you can see here relationship line here created here, so this is the relationship. Okay, all right, so let me extend this so we can see all attributes of the table. Extend this and see all attributes of the table. Okay, all right, so I want to query the table so that I can have the first names of customers and then the order date and then the amount. Okay, so I'm going to click on the first name. Okay, so you can see it appeared here. You can see field name is what? First name, and the table is the customer table. Okay, so I want the first name of customers that ordered that are from the states. Okay, and then the amount they ordered. Okay, so let's go ahead and run that. Okay, so we go to the design here and we run that. So you can see, okay, I said, okay, show me the first names of those who live in a state and who actually, bought, ordered for something. Okay, the amounts they ordered for. Okay, so let's go ahead and then let's give a specific query. Okay, so we go ahead and go to the query design. So I want to give a specific query. So I'm going to say the first names of those who live in a UT. Okay, UT. Okay, so I'm going to say UT. Okay, and then I'm going to say, and then let's run that and see what happens. So let's go to design, run. So you can see it gave me the names of those who first names of those who live in a state UT, and then gave me their revenue. Okay, so let's make another criteria. Okay, I want the names of those who revenue are greater than, so greater than, you're going to use this symbol, greater than $100. Okay, so let's see how we can run that. So let's go to design and then we run that. So you can see it has given me all the first names of those whose revenues are greater than $100. Okay, so let's go back to the design view. So you can see here under the revenue, we said those whose revenue are greater than what, $100. Okay. All right. So please, once you are done creating the queries and then running them, please make sure you come back to save them. So you can click here, because if you do not save them, you can see it's not in the category here. So let's go to save, and then we can name this pizza query. Okay, or we can say just query one. We can just leave it a query. Okay, and then we go to okay. So you can see that it has popped up here as a category on the left hand side. Okay, so make sure you always save your objects. All right, so basically we use queries to ask our database questions. Okay, if in case you have a whole lot of data, okay, or a whole lot of records you cannot go through manually, you use queries to get your information fast. Okay, all right, in the next video we are going to be talking about reports, how to get reports, how to create reports for our database. Okay, so please subscribe and then ask questions in the comment section, or you can ask me questions in my Instagram using the link in the description. Okay, see you in the next video.